In 2025, I had some slips. Not huge ones, not dramatic ones, but significant slips. I usually lose 10 to 12 pounds a year, and I will end up at the end of this year exactly where I started. But because I did the mind work and because I have laid the foundation and because I've been working on myself, I actually feel really good about it. And I'll tell you why. Even though I didn't lose any weight, I didn't spiral, I didn't disappear, I didn't beat myself up, and I didn't quit. Life happened, like real life. People are dying, people are sick. I didn't give up. And that's huge. And that's what I want for you. And so that's why we're working on getting our mind right before we actually jump in to dealing with all the food and workout stuff. But stick with me. Welcome back to Healthyish, my veganish weight loss journey. And this is episode 2. In the first episode, I introduced myself. We talked about my story about how I went from 230 pounds to where I am today, 175. I went a little bit into all the ups and downs between then and now, but obviously we'll dive into more of those stories. But in this episode, we're continuing to get prepared for our journey of living a more plant-based vegan lifestyle. Because let's be honest, the V word is still met with a lot of resistance and a lot of anger out there in the world. But at the end of the day, it's about you. It's about you being healthy and living a healthy life. So please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification bell so you can get notified when I drop another video. One of the most important things that I not only learned in 2017, that was such an aha moment. Literally, I incorporate it every single day into how I make decisions. And I'm going to tell you that at the end of the video. Don't you hate when people do that to you? That's how we get you to stick around. Before I ever started my diet, before I ever changed any of my food or started my workouts, I knew I needed to get my mind right. I knew I needed to put good things into my brain. And I did that by reading, by journaling, and by watching documentaries about food, primarily factory farming. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you all the books and the movies that I read and watched that helped shape my mindset before I ever started my journey. I'm going to share a little bit more about my journey, which again started in 2017. By July of 2017, I was at my heaviest, 230 pounds. I was in constant pain. I couldn't sleep. I had acid reflux. I had plantar fasciitis. I had skin rashes. I was a mess. I knew it was because of my diet. I had started a business 5 years earlier, working 70 to 90 hours a week. And when I wasn't working, I was networking, drinking, eating fatty foods, taking clients to steakhouses. So I started my journey. I got down to 185 pounds and then COVID happened. And like so many of you, we moved, we remodeled a house. My business was transitioning. Honestly, I gained almost all of it back. August 2021, I woke up with my face paralyzed. My husband took me to the emergency room and they told me I had Bell's palsy. All of these years later, I'm still affected by it. It affects my speech a little bit. It affects my eye, and you can notice it when I'm dehydrated, when I'm sleepy, if I'm eating too much sugar. So this is something that I'm a little self-conscious of, and also something that was a wake-up call for me. In July, I hit 168.4, my lowest weight since my wedding. And I felt really good about that, really good. But then life happened, as it does. My father passed away. My mother had some surgeries and she needed assistance. It did take a toll on my weight. When I zoom out and I look at the whole year, I will end December exactly where I started in January. But at 56 years old, during what most people would consider a pretty stressfully disruptive year, I call that success. That feels like a win to me. And the truth is that earlier on in my journey, the younger me would have thought of that as failure. I also want to be very clear to everybody here. There will be full transparency on this channel. Anybody can lose weight on any diet. Being vegan is not magic. In fact, there's a lot of bad vegan food. And sadly, I found it all. I know exactly where it all is. It's in my cupboard some of the times. Over the years, I've tried everything, just like many of you. Cabbage soup diet, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers again, medications under a doctor's supervision, surgeries, shock therapy, therapeutic therapy. If somebody had lost weight on it, I had tried it. So some of it worked for a while, some of it didn't. And I will share all of it, but I will share it when it's authentic, when it's real, and it's relevant to the story. But I do want to share everything. But maybe we get to know each other better. Everyone has their own path. And after doing this my whole adult life, gaining and losing weight, here's what lessons I've learned is that basically, if you eat whole healthy foods and stay mostly away from processed foods, and you just move your body throughout the day, you don't need to do those army fit, core, crazy workouts. You just need to move throughout the day. If you do those two things and drink lots of water, you are going to start to see a noticeable difference in how you feel and how you look. This year, instead of pushing my body hard and working out at optimum level like I normally do, I took a break. After my burnout, after my Bell's palsy, my nervous system was shot. I didn't even realize it until I started to feel the stress of this year. And so I leaned into a more meditative yoga breathing type of routine. And I walked on my treadmill or outside, but I didn't run and I didn't do intense workouts, and I do not feel bad about it. But I will say that is probably another reason, because my calories were up and my workouts were minimal or were lighter than they used to be. That's another reason why I stayed at a status quo. But what I realized is meditation matters. Stillness matters. Breathing matters. Being quiet with yourself matters. And in the hectic, crazy world that we live in right now, it matters more than ever. When I look in the mirror at 56 years old, I have never felt this good about myself. Not because I'm finished, because I definitely see where I need to lose that 25 or 30 pounds and where I need to tone up. I'm not delusional about what I look like, but because my mindset has changed. And that is why mindset is the most important part of this journey. As I promised, I'm going to tell you the one thing that I learned that has changed my life. But before I do, the second thing that I want to share with you is when I first started this journey, I did not tell anybody what I was doing. I had done that in the past with many different things, not just this diet. And I will tell you that people, although they're well-intentioned, tend to be like pigeons. They swoop in, they shit all over your dreams, and then they swoop out. So when you're getting started, maybe keep it to yourself. Okay, you've been very patient. Thank you for waiting. I'm going to change seats for this one. All right, I'm going to get serious. I gained 66 pounds from when I got married to 2017. That was 11 years. When I knew I had to change my mindset, and when I started reading books that I will share with you at the end of this video. One of the books that I read was Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. And he said something that really resonated with me, and it has changed my life forever. When most people are about to start something new or change a habit or change something about themselves, they often look at the future outcome of what is going to be, how they'll look great in that dress or that bikini or whatever. Instead of looking at what happens if you lose the weight and focusing on that, first of all, think about what happens if you do not do it. And really, let's break this down for a second. 11 years, 66 pounds. I was 40 something. Okay, another 11 years, another 66 pounds. Times that by 33 years, I'm in my 70s. I mean, I'm almost 400 pounds. And I sat with that, not just what it felt like at that time, but what it would feel like to continue down the path that I was already on. The pain and the frustration and the disappointment in myself. And quite honestly, I loved my husband and I thought he deserved to have a healthy wife, a beautiful wife. And also, men tend to follow their wives. So if I'm unhealthy, he's unhealthy. So that's what I learned. And again, you just can't think about it. You have to sit with it. You have to really feel it. And that's the trick, is to make yourself feel it. Once you feel it and you're like, hell no, hell no, that's not happening to me. I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. All of a sudden you shift and you change and you're like, I see exactly where I'm going. I know exactly who I am and what I'm going to do and what I'm going to be. But it's a mindset, and it doesn't happen overnight, and it's practice. Again, progress over perfection. So stick with us. In the next video, we're going to talk about interacting with people. Please hit like and subscribe and share with people who you think would like a veganish lifestyle. Our first recommendation is 10 Lessons from a Former Fat Girl by Amy Parham. This inspiring memoir shares Amy's personal journey and the powerful lessons she learned about transformation and self-acceptance. Next up is It Was Me All Along by Andy Mitchell, a New York Times bestseller. The title itself carries a powerful message about taking personal responsibility for change. The Amazing Adventures of Diet Girl by Shauna Reed. This real-life story combines genuine humor with authentic inspiration, making the journey of transformation feel both achievable and enjoyable. Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins teaches you how to take immediate control of your mental, emotional, physical, and financial destiny. Atomic Habits by James Clear. The core concept is beautifully simple. Tiny changes lead to remarkable results. The Atomic Habits Workbook. It's a hands-on tool that helps you apply the concepts from Atomic Habits directly to your own life. Younger Next Year for Women by Chris Crowley and Henry S. Lodge. This book shows you how to turn back your biological clock. There's also an original version for men with a yellow cover. Another great read for anyone looking to stay young and healthy. Burnout, The Secret to Unlocking the Stress Cycle by Emily Nagoski and Amelia Nagoski addresses a critical issue many people face today. Finally, The Time Cleanse by Stephen Griffith offers a proven system to eliminate wasted time, realize your full potential, and reinvest in what matters most. These 10 books offer powerful tools for transformation. Start your journey today by picking up any of these life-changing reads and discover the person you're meant to become. Here are my movie recommendations on factory farming and how our food is processed. Some of these videos are pretty easy to watch, and some of them are going to be pretty painful. I haven't watched them all, but I have watched enough to help me make the change to a vegan lifestyle. I hope they have the same effect on you.